the question most commonly asked. I remember when I decided I wanted to do social work, people around me kept on asking me, are you so sure this is what you want to do with your life? But I felt like, no, I have the love for it, I have the heart for it, I have the passion for it. I know for a fact I'm supposed to be working with people, so I'm gonna be fine. People are like, are you sure? There's not much money in social work. Are you sure you want to go into it? I was like, I don't care. I love people. I love serving. I love I love helping. Look at me now. And I say look at me now, I don't mean it in a bad way. I do feel like sometimes when we make career choices, we are a little bit naive when people who have gone the path try to advise us otherwise. We tend to feel like they are going against our drive or our passion, or they are picking career choices for us. I remember asking, I think it was in my second year, asking one of our lecturers, Guti, how is the pay there? And she said that how well you are going to earn in social work depends on how effective you are as a social worker, so I am gonna say there's no one size fits all. Not all social workers earn the same amount, and it depends on various factors. But before we get onto the various factors that I'm going to mention to you guys, I went on to Google and I did my own little research. I asked a few social workers and I looked up a few social work posts to see how much people in social work actually really earn, and this is what I found. So according to Indeed, the average salary for social workers in South Africa is 5,155, if I'm not mistaken. I stand to be corrected, and this was based from salaries were reported about 109 participants, and this was last reviewed in March 2023. And I could say that this is not far from the truth at all, because I have seen some intern social work posts that are offering 5,000 rand for social workers. So you may be thinking for yourself, oh my lord, Jaini told me how is it that you go to school for 4 years and you're gonna get 5,000 as an intern? And when I say go to school for 4 years, I mean this is like an NQF level 8. That means that you went through research and you are still valued on that scale, unfortunately. I went to talent.za, if I'm not mistaken, and they say that the average salary for a social worker is around 20 grand. And Pay Scale reported that the average salary for a social worker in South Africa is around 26 grand. What I discovered during my Taninyana research. So I've seen posts and I've also spoken to a few people. So the salaries that most social workers get into, and these are qualified people and not necessarily intern positions, range from like 10 grand. I've seen posts of social workers that are going to be paid around 12 grand, and this is before deductions. 12 grand. I've seen posts for like around 16 grand. I know someone who's reported getting around 16 grand and also around 20, and she's in Cape Town now and she gets around 22 grand. So I had to like investigate the factors that influence the differences. So I had a situation where I went for an interview for one organization in Johannesburg because I genuinely do want to move to Gauteng or just to the cities. I just want to move out of home, So I went for the interview there, and I later discovered that their pay was less than what I'm earning right now. In my head, I would have assumed that them being an organization in Johannesburg, that means that they pay more. I guess that's not always necessarily the case, but so places like the Western Cape or Eastern Cape do sometimes pay more. And also it depends on whether you're working for a non-governmental organization or you're working for the government. Usually in instances where you are working for the government, the pay is more and you get benefits. So it means that you can go on paid maternity leave. There's more benefits that I won't go into right now, and yeah, they necessarily get more. And when you are working for non-governmental organizations, there's less benefits. You know, our companies do not contribute to our medical aid, and sometimes at times when you are working for a non-governmental organization, you cannot afford to go on maternity leave because the maternity leave is unpaid. And I've seen people not go on maternity leave because they cannot afford to go on maternity leave because they weren't paid. And also we do not get bonuses, unlike in governmental organizations where when it's your birthday or probably when it's the end of the year, you get double your salary most of the time. I'm not saying with all non-governmental organizations, I'm saying most of the times with non-governmental organizations you do not get that. So if you want to be earning well, or if you're going into social work to like improve your earning prospects or whatever, I guess you should be aiming for the areas, and that's your research to do. Do your research, what areas pay more for social work, go there. And also, I guess for most people, I've spoken to a lot of social workers and most of them aspire to actually work in governmental organizations instead of NGOs. So you could try your luck there. I guess we've come to the end of our video. I will say, however, as much as we feel like the pay doesn't matter, money doesn't matter much, as long as I'm driven by the heart, as long as this is my passion, as long as this is what I've always wanted to do, money does matter to some extent. So please do make an informed decision, you know. And I'm not saying you can never make money in social work. I do believe that it's possible. I believe that if you are good at what you do and you position yourself, or you find yourself positioned where there's money, money will come to you, you know. And also within the governmental organizations, they work with grades. When I say grades, that grades work on experience, you know. So the people that have less than 10 years experience and less than the people that have more than 10 years experience. In conclusion, the factors that influence your pay as a social worker, as the location, are the location or area in which you're placed at, your years of experience, and the type of organization you're in, whether it's a non-governmental one or a governmental one. I hope that you guys have learned one thing or two. Remember that it is World Social Work Month, and if you know a social worker, please do take the time to appreciate them for the job that they do, because we don't get much recognition and appreciation out there. But until next time, kulungile, bye.